What new Xenoblade goodness does Nintendo have in store for us? Hey, it's Just the Gems, I'm Brandon, and it looks like a somewhat careless post on a casting website called Spotlight is suggesting we're getting a new Xenoblade game this year. Well, maybe. It's too soon to say if the Xenoblade we're getting is new, but heck, we've got Xenoblade and 2026 in the same area here, and if that's not news to celebrate, I don't know what is. I guess a marriage. Yeah, that'd be worth celebrating. But still, what does this mean for Xeno fans? Let's talk about it. Some of you might know me as the Trails guy. If you've seen any of my stuff before, chances are it involved me gushing about the Trails series. And yeah, I am a Trails guy. It's like being a wife guy, but instead of supporting my wife's burgeoning Instagram career before she inevitably leaves me for her manager, I boost Trails on the internet. So even though that's true, I'm almost just as much a Xeno guy. I've been a JRPG player forever, since I was super young. I'm talking closer to 40 years ago than 30, if you get my drift. I'm old, but Xenogears was the game that cemented my love for this genre and pretty much guaranteed I'd be sitting here talking to you about this stuff today. So that's my backstory, and that's why I'm excited about this news. Caitlin Thorburn's post on Spotlight indicates she played the role of KOS-MOS in something titled Xenoblade Chronicles that is releasing in the year of our Lord Rex 2026. Yeah, that's right, I think Rex is a good character. Come at me. My first thought upon seeing this, I thought the mad geniuses at Monolith Soft are really doing it. They're really bringing the Xenosaga and Xenoblade stories together. Sure, they teased all that at the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed, but for all we knew, that could have just been a fun little Easter egg for series fans. They might not have actually intended to follow through with that stuff. But if KOS-MOS is showing up in 2026, that must mean we're getting the Xenoblade Xenosaga crossover I've always dreamed of, right? Well, not necessarily. After I stopped hyperventilating, I realized, oh yeah, KOS-MOS has been in a Xenoblade before. She was a recruitable blade in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Switch. And what has Nintendo done a bunch lately, since they don't have much in the way of actual new games for their overpriced system that is systematically killing the physical video game collector hobby? They've released Switch 2 editions of their heavy hitters. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the best-selling Xenoblade game, and it kinda runs like hot wet duty on the Switch 1, so if any game in the series needs a refresh, it's that one. Seriously, play Xenoblade 2 in handheld mode and tell me if you can discern your surroundings based on the single pixel it all condenses down to. Monolith Soft is usually so good at optimizing their games, but I guess this was their first big foray into Switch on their own, so maybe it was a learning experience. Like how my first girlfriend got literally the worst of me as I learned how to be a decent human being through the process of being kinda the worst with her, so my wife could later reap the benefits of me not being a total turd. Xenoblade 2 is my ex-girlfriend and Xenoblade 3 is my wife? I guess that's the analogy I'm going with. Anyway, yeah, an updated Xenoblade Chronicles 2 makes the most sense to me right now. Caitlin Thorburn also portrayed KOS-MOS in that game, so I'd say that adds further fuel to the cleansing fire burning down my dreams of a Xenoblade Xenosaga crossover. So why is she listing the game on her credits for 2026? Well, that actually suggests some pretty intriguing ideas, even assuming this is just for a Switch 2 edition. Relisting the game might suggest she was called back in to record new lines, and new lines means new stories. Do you think it might be possible that Monolith is planning to add more story fibers to Xenoblade 2 in order to better connect the series together with Xenosaga in the near future? And if that's the case, then that even further suggests we'll be getting something from Xenosaga this year or next as well. Xenosaga was the series I most anticipated as a teenager and young adult, and it was very big among the hardcore JRPG nerds who didn't mind watching 40-minute cutscenes in 2002. There were dozens of us, but it didn't make a big splash in the general market, certainly nowhere near as big as Xenoblade. If Monolith plans to bring Xenosaga into the world of Xenoblade, they'll need to catch everyone up. That means enticing Xenoblade fans with more stories and information about KOS-MOS and Telos, and it also means giving us modern access to the story of Xenosaga. Which brings up the other possibility raised by Caitlin's Spotlight post. Maybe what she recorded was actually Xenosaga? It could be that she called it Xenoblade Chronicles because that's what she knows. Maybe it wasn't clear to her what she was recording. Or maybe it's like how moms in the 90s called every game console a Nintendo. She reads lines as KOS-MOS, she thinks Xenoblade. Who knows? But if she really did record lines as KOS-MOS for a release of Xenosaga, what does that mean? Well, at the very least, it would suggest the games are getting a new dub and/or translation, I guess. Don't get me wrong, the original dub isn't bad. Especially for its time, it's like downright watchable. But the bar has been raised significantly in the intervening 20 plus years, so I wouldn't object to a fresh pass on it. Not to mention, all the original actors who portrayed those characters are now also 20 plus years older, and time is kinder to some people's voices than others. My voice consistently sounds like I'm hiding a gravel grinder in the back of my throat, and let's just say it didn't always sound as beautiful as that. So if they intend to use these Xenosaga characters going forward in new titles, then recasting makes a ton of sense. Like, as much as I love the cast of Trails in the Sky First Chapter, I will say, having 50-somethings playing 16-year-olds is, well, let's just say, you can tell. You can tell. They do a good job, but you can tell. So we have basically three possibilities here. One, they're making Xenoblade 4, which would also be Xenosaga Episode 4, the crossover my childhood self couldn't have imagined would ever happen. Two, they're re-releasing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as a Switch 2 edition, and maybe there'll be some new connective tissue around KOS-MOS added to better tie things in going forward. Or three, they're bringing Xenosaga to a modern audience with, at the very least, a change in cast. I always hope for the best, but I try and keep my feet on the ground. So I think 2 is the most likely option. We'll get an announcement of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Switch 2 Edition at the next Nintendo First Party Direct, and they'll tease some new story content exclusive to that release. Given there have been no real leaks about anything bigger than that, I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, if they were resurrecting Xenosaga officially, I feel like some nerd at Monolith Soft would have accidentally let it slip at After Work Drinks. Maybe I need to make friends with some people at Monolith Soft, actually. Take them out, wine them, dine them. Is that unethical? You bet your butt it is. Is it all that important, though? Nah. Come on, guys, it's just video games. Don't cancel me. Anyway, what do you think we're going to see from Xeno this year? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing. Oh, and check out my podcast, the JRPG Pursuit, where we talk all about JRPGs every single Wednesday. Links in the description. Have a good one. Later.